welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you have joined me tonight for a night of information, revelation, and change. Tonight is going to be another phenomenal night, as we always say. It is going to be a great show tonight. I want you to like, to comment, to share this broadcast with someone that you know. Share it on your page. Let them know that Whole and Beautiful is on and that tonight's word is going to be powerful. I have some things that I just want to share with you, and I am praying and hoping that this will be something that you can apply to your life, that it will bring about information to you that's going to bring about a revelation and cause a change to come in your life. So make sure that you share with someone tonight. Let them know that Whole and Beautiful is on and that tonight they do not want to miss this show. Okay, guys, we are going to take a short Selah moment break right here. And when we come back, I will discuss with you the things that I want to talk to you about tonight. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you tell a friend of me. Whole and Beautiful is on, and we are about to share some powerful information. We will be right back after this short Selah moment break. Hello and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you have joined me tonight for a night of information, revelation, and change. Guys, tonight I just wanted to share some information with you that I am praying will bring about a revelation and it will bring about a change. After tonight's show and after you listen in to what I'm going to share with you, I want you to send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com. That is wholebeautiful@gmail.com. And I want you to give me your thoughts about tonight's show. I want you to tell me what it did for your life. I want you to tell me whether it impacted you, if it helped you, or if you still have questions. I want you to send those questions to me. Again, that's wholebeautiful@gmail.com. Guys, I'm still working on my couples conversation shows. And if you know a couple that you know would be great and be able to be on the show, just send me their information or have them send me their information, because I would love to get them on the show and do a couple's conversations with them. That particular show is just talking to couples, whether they've been married a year, whether they've been married 20 years. It doesn't matter. I want to just get their perspective of where they are, what they're learning about each other, what they're learning about marriage. So if you know of a couple that you would think would be awesome to be a part of the Whole and Beautiful show, just let me know. Send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com, and I will contact them and try to get them on the show. We're also working on our mentoring moment show. I'm looking for some men to be on the show where they can talk about mentoring younger men. In today's world, in today's society, we have so much that is, a lot of people are saying, well, men are not in the household, men are not stepping up, and men need to be there. I know that there are some men out there who are mentoring younger men, who are mentoring just men in general. And I want you to share your story on Whole Beautiful, Whole and Beautiful show. So I want you to send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com if you know of some men that are mentoring younger men and you think that their story would be good for this show, or if you are that man and you want to share your story and how you are mentoring the younger generation, or how you're even mentoring your peers, just let us know, because we would love to have you on Whole and Beautiful. Guys, I have a lot of upcoming things that are going to be coming soon. Some things that I'm working on, and I'm going to bring you that information in the months to come. But just stick with me, stay with me. This is going to be an awesome journey, and I would love for you to walk it with me and to be a part of all the great things that are getting ready to come forth. But tonight's show, I wanted to share with you about unforgiveness. Um, a lot of us look at it as just being, that's my preference. I choose not to forgive that person, or I choose not to forgive that situation or that circumstance. But the reason why I wanted to bring this on is because this is ruling so many people's lives. And even in today's society, with so many things that are happening and so many things that are going on, you see all the things that happen on the news, you see all the things that are happening on social media, and I see people going back and forth with each other on social media. And I'm like, a lot of people just need to forgive. um, Unforgiveness is so serious to the point it has been listed in the medical books as an actual disease. Think about it, guys. Unforgiveness has been listed as a disease in a medical book because it's just that serious. And sometimes we choose not to forgive because of the situation that we were in, the things that people did to us. And I'm going to tell you what was told to me so long ago, and it has stuck with me all of these years. It's what someone told me was that you may have a reason, but you don't have a right. And that is still true today. You may have a reason for that unforgiveness, but you don't have a right to walk around with that unforgiveness. You don't have a right to hold that grudge. Because if you are saying that you have given your life to Christ and you have turned your life over to Him, He doesn't hold grudges against you. He forgives you for every small, minute, little thing, big thing, whatever it is, He forgives. Because if you come to Him and you ask for forgiveness, He forgives you. So, how much more should you forgive those who do things towards you? They may have done that very thing on purpose. So what if they did it on purpose? It's still up to you. You have to make a choice to forgive. Some of the things that I found out about unforgiveness is that it causes a lot of health problems. I'm not saying this may be the only reason why that you're having those particular health problems, but you can be having certain health problems due to unforgiveness. And I'm just going to read off some of the things that I found out that unforgiveness can cause in your body. It can cause high blood pressure. It causes stress, sleep disorders, chronic anxiety, a weak immune system, depression, chemical dependency, heart problems, stroke, aneurysms, cancers, long term mental health, brain hemorrhaging, anorexia, bulimia, paranoia, personality disorder, teeth problems. And you say, how can it cause teeth problems? Because a lot of people who have unforgiveness will grit their teeth or grind their teeth at night when they're sleeping. It causes lockjaw. Unforgiveness can cause you to have headaches and migraines and neck problems and muscle tenseness, ulcers, arthritis. Even guys, it can cause constipation. Did you hear me? It can cause you to not even your bowels not to even work properly because of unforgiveness. And we hold on to things when people do us wrong, and they, like I said, they could have done it on purpose. They could have done it unknowingly. But a lot of times, sometimes people do things on purpose. And we just have to choose to forgive. It doesn't mean that we're going to feel like forgiving, But we make the choice to forgive, and it's a process. It's a process to recovery, not for that other person, but for you. And you need to realize that you are important and you are worth forgiving somebody else because you want to forgive. You choose to do it. And like I said, the feelings of it may come further on down the road. But why would you put yourself through all of those health problems simply because you said, "Oh, I'm not going to forgive them"? I might, and then some people say, "Well, I might forgive them, but I ain't going to forget." Well, you have not forgiven because it's a process of remembering that incident less and less and less. The more you fill yourself up with the forgiveness, the more you take the time and say, "You know what? I'm going to release this. I'm going to let this go." And I'm not telling you guys stuff that I don't know about. I'm telling you about stuff that I do know about because unforgiveness ruled my life for so long. And then I was like, why am I going to sit here and not forgive? It's like Christ forgives me all the time. So I can forgive. I can walk in forgiveness. I choose to let it go. I just choose to let it go. Whether it was a friend, that somebody I considered a friend, whether it was issues that I dealt with my dad or with my mom or with an uncle or auntie or whoever it may be, a husband, a close friend. I had to learn to forgive and to forgive quickly. Why? Because I want to live my life to the fullest and I don't want to have to go through all of these different problems all because I choose not to forgive, all because I have chosen not to forgive. All of these things can show up in my life and just cause a havoc in my body, cause my body not to operate properly because I'm holding on to the unforgiveness. And if you notice, a lot of people who have unforgiveness in their heart, they are angry people. They're angry at that person. They're angry at that situation. They're angry at that circumstance. And it's causing their body to tense up, causing them to have muscle spasms and all kinds of things in their lives. And we don't need that. And one way you can release all of that pressure is to simply forgive. To say, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to hold on to this. I'm just going to let it go. And like I said, it may not be easy. It's a process, but you can walk out the process and your life will be so much better if you will just learn how to forgive. Unforgiveness will bind you up with invisible chains to the other person while they go free. They're walking in their freedom. They could care less about what they said to you, what they did to you. They're living their lives to the fullest, and you are reliving that situation every single day. You have put yourself in this makeshift jail, so to speak, and you all bound up and chained up, and they walking free. Why would you bind yourself up with those chains of unforgiveness? Why not break free today? Why not break free tonight? Why not break free this weekend? And you may say, you know what, you don't know what they did to me. It does not matter what they did. You can't let that rule you. You can't let that hold you hostage. You can't let that be your life. Your life story is they did this to me, so now I can't live my life to the fullest. They said this to me, so now I can't be free because I'm gonna hold this grudge until I'm out of here, you know? No. Release them. Let them go. Even if they come back to you and apologize or not. Sometimes you have to sit that empty chair in front of yourself and you have to imagine that person sitting there or imagine that situation or whatever and just go ahead and say, I forgive you, I release you, I let you go. Some people have this situation going on, guys, and the person that they're mad at, that they're angry at, has already passed. They have been buried. They have been gone from this earth for years, and they're still upset. They're still angry. They still will not forgive. Don't let stuff from the grave still hold you and hold your life hostage where you can't live because you still mad at the person that passed away. You're still mad at them because of what they did or did not do, because of what they said or did not say. They're not coming back. So you need to get to a place in you where you can say, I forgive you and I release you. And if you need that physical thing, why not take a balloon, drop some papers down in it of the different things that they did, and you're releasing them and letting them go. Put that balloon on a string, let it go. Let it fly in the wind. Let it be lifted from you if that's going to help you. Like I said, sit down, get that empty chair, sit it in front of you, and imagine yourself talking to that person and dealing with the issue. You got to deal with the issue so you can move on. Unforgiveness will hinder our capacity to form new and healthy relationships. Why? Because my unforgiveness will just pour over into this next relationship. And if I want good friendships or good relationships, I got to get rid of the unforgiveness because I'm always looking for that other person to hurt me. I'm always looking for that other person. Always like, oh, they too good to be true. They too good to be true. They gonna do something. And you always got this thing hanging over that person's head. And they could be the best thing that has ever happened to you. They could be the best person for you in your life, but you will not allow them in because you have not forgiven the last person that was there, the last friend that betrayed you, the last spouse that betrayed you or hurt you. You've got to begin to let those things go and forgive those people and forgive those things because we are punishing our now people, the people that's with you now. A lot of you are punishing your now people for the past people's mistakes. You can't keep doing that. You will always be by yourself. You will always have that some kind of cloud around that person where you can't fully trust them and they can't be your friend because you can't really trust them. You have somebody in your life that wants to be your friend, that wants to hang out with you, that wants to be that loyal friend to you, but they can't because you're pushing them away. They can't because you're holding something over their head that they never even partook of. They don't even know what's going on. But it's all because you have not forgiven that other person. So don't allow your past to hold your present and your future hostage. Don't let it hold you as a prisoner. And forgiveness doesn't always lead to reconciliation. Guys, it doesn't. Sometimes you forgive. That does not mean that I reconcile with that person and that now we buddies and we pals and we hanging out together and we doing stuff together. No. It just means I have released them and I have released myself. Because through releasing them and letting it go, I have released myself and now I can live my life. That does not mean that now you're going to be my friend for life. No, it just means that I am ready to relinquish everything, to let things go. And it's okay that there's no reconciliation. It's okay that we don't be buddies and be pals again. But for me to release you, I have to make a choice to say, okay, I forgive. It's a song out, and I can't remember the guy's name at the moment, but he says, I want a heart that forgives. I want a heart that forgives. And if you can, just type in those words. The song will probably come up. I just cannot remember his name at the moment, but I would listen to that song over and over and over and over again when I was dealing with a lot in my life where I felt like I really need a heart that forgives. I didn't want to stay prisoner to unforgiveness. I didn't want to be in that prison because it didn't feel good being there. I didn't want to be a bitter person. I didn't want to be an angry person. And the guy's name is Kevin LaVar. If you get a chance, listen to his song, A Heart That Forgives. It is awesome. And I listened to that over and over. I just did not want to be a prisoner to the unforgiveness. I knew that with situations and circumstances that were going on in my life, I wanted to forgive and to forgive quickly. And I wanted to be coming from my heart, not just from my head and saying, oh, I choose to forgive. No, I wanted to truly forgive and to walk away from those situations. I didn't want to walk in those things where it was going to hold me hostage for the rest of my life. I had been held hostage for too long and I wanted to be free. And my freedom meant the world it meant more than this world to me. So I was saying I would do anything I needed to do to forgive. And that song helped me to walk in true forgiveness. Whenever I would feel the anxiety, whenever I would feel some type of way, I would put on the song and I would listen to it over and over and over again. And that song really ministered to my heart. So when you get a chance, listen to the song. It will really minister to you too. And it'll help you kind of walk through your forgiveness. People who hurt you can't heal you. So don't wait on it. Don't wait for those people to come back and to love on you and to say, I'm sorry. Or to say, you know what, that was wrong of me. They may never do it. They may never do it. And the ones who have hurt you, they can't heal you. So don't sit there waiting on them to do so. Don't sit there waiting on them to come back and change your situation. It's not going to happen. Let them go and move on. Because the forgiveness is not going to change them. The forgiveness is not going to change their behavior. It changes you. Just because you forgive them, they're not going to just melt and say, oh, thank you for forgiving me. It's not going to be that way. They probably could care less whether you forgave them or not. But that forgiveness is for you to be free, for you to release yourself so that you can move on and be the best you that you can be. The forgiveness changes you. It doesn't mean to forgive and forget. Nope, because you will remember. A lot of the times you're going to remember. But the pain will lose its sting. The sting of it will be gone. You can remember it without it taking you into a whirlwind, without it taking you into a deep, dark place, without it taking you back and you walking through it and reliving it all the time. When you forgive, it takes the sting out of it so it doesn't hurt. Even in the Bible it said, oh death, where is thy sting? Oh grave, where is thy victory? Why? Because those things, that unforgiveness will not rule over you anymore. There will not be a sting to it. You can remember it and it don't even hurt. Why? Because the sting has been taken away, because you have truly forgiven. And as you move on through life, you remember it less and less. it's like it's not at the forefront of your brain anymore. It's not at the forefront of your mind anymore. You live your life, and every day it gets better because you choose to forgive. We can't continue and stay in the victim mode and say, oh, some people love being the victim, so they're going to be forever the victim. Why? Because they want to sit in the unforgiveness. It gets them the attention that they want. Oh, and I bring it up. It was a lady who one of my friends, we were talking about it not too long ago, where this lady was talking about how her husband had left her, and oh, it was just so horrible, and she was talking about all the horrible things he did, and she was just boo-hooing and crying, and they asked her, and they were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened to you. When did this happen? And she began to talk to them and tell them it was over 10 years ago. And she was reliving this thing like it just had happened, like yesterday. But it was over 10 years ago. It's time to let it go. It is past time to let it go. It is causing you not to live your life. This man has moved on with his life. He's remarried. He was remarried and moving on with his life, and she still was rehearsing the things that took place in their marriage. She still was rehearsing the things that took place, and it was just if it had happened yesterday. And I was like, man, that's been over 10 years ago. So we can't allow ourselves to relive those things over and over and over and over again. If you need to journal, guys, sit down and write that stuff in a journal. But don't write it in a journal and keep writing about it every night or keep writing about it every single day. You got to write about it, got to write about it. No, you write about it, you release it, you let it go. Father, I choose to forgive. I choose to release this person. I choose to let this go. Father, I thank you for healing my heart, taking away the sting of it all. I choose to forgive. I want a heart that forgives. By playing the victim, like what they did to me, and you always got to say what they did to me, by blaming, you don't have to look at your responsibility in the situation, because you're always pointing it, saying, oh, I was the victim. They did this to me. They did this to me. They did this to me. Or they said this thing to me. Look at your responsibility in the situation. And you may say, well, I have no responsibility in the situation. Sometimes our responsibility, guys, in the situation is to set boundaries. Sometimes we didn't set a boundary. We didn't set a limit. We didn't show this person how to treat us. We let them do things and we never said anything. And they just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And we just kept stuffing it and not saying a word. And then we'll walk around with all this unforgiveness, but we allowed them to treat us badly. We allowed them to do certain things to us, and we didn't set boundaries for ourselves. You need to set boundaries for yourself and don't allow them to cross it. If you're saying this is my limit, this is my boundary, this is my space, then set it up and don't let them cross that boundary. Don't let them go across what your limits are. You need to care enough about yourself to say, this is the way I want to be treated. This is the way I need to be treated. And if you can't treat me with that type of respect, and you can't treat me the way that I need to be treated, then bye-bye. So long. Auf Wiedersehen. See you later. Because I don't want that in my presence. And you have to protect yourself. Sometimes you have to be the mother to your own self. Or guys, you have to be that dad to your own self. You have to protect you. If you don't have somebody that is advocating for you, You need to advocate for you. You need to stand up for yourself. You look at it like this. Some of us have children, or some of us have children that are in our lives that we'll protect them with our very lives. We will not allow people to do bad things to them. We don't allow people to mistreat those children that are in our lives, whether they're relatives or whether they're not relatives, whether they're just children we feel like need to be protected. And we'll protect them at all costs. We need to do the same thing with ourselves. You need to stand up for you. You need to advocate for yourself. You need to protect yourself. You need to set boundaries for yourself. And you need to not allow people to cross those boundaries. If they cross it, be like, okay, you know what? We done. Because I'm going to protect myself at all costs. Not that I'm going to put up these walls where nobody can get in, but I am going to watch over myself and protect myself and say, you know what? That wasn't a good situation. Don't allow that to happen to you. Don't allow this person to speak to you in that manner. Speak up for you. Defend yourself. Stand there and be the advocate that you need for yourself. Why? Because you need to. Because you're important enough to stand up for you. You are important. You are valuable. And you have to know who you are. And you have to treat yourself with respect. And then others, make them well, really, you don't even have to make them. If you treat yourself with respect, then they will treat you with respect. And if they choose not to, then you can make the choice for them to keep on moving. They can just keep right on moving. Because if you don't come to me respecting me, then I'm not going to allow you in my space. I'm not going to allow you in my head space. I'm not going to allow you in my space around me. You have to protect yourself. You have to stand up for you. You have to speak up for you and set your boundaries. You have to rebuild safety. If they come back to you with an apology, you can accept the apology. Not that it's okay that they did whatever they did. It's not okay. Like I said, you set the boundaries. But you rebuild your safety. And you know that you can be safe. You're safe in Christ's arms. You are safe in His Word. You are safe. You have to rebuild that safety net, that safety around you, and know that you're going to be okay, that everything is going to be all right. But you don't just say, oh, okay, well, that was okay. No, it wasn't okay the way they treated you. So don't say that it was okay, because it was not. You can accept an apology without saying, oh, that was okay, because it was not. And you let go. You give up the victim role. Give up that victim role. You are not the victim. You are the victor. You are not the victim. You are the victor. So be victorious in your everyday walk, your everyday life. Be victorious and know that that forgiveness that you choose to do is going to bring peace. It's going to bring health. So you need to forgive. It's a choice to forgive. It is not a feeling. You will not feel like forgiving that person. You will not feel like letting them go. But it is not your feelings. It's a choice. You just make a choice. To me, it's like choosing, like, do you want to eat this white bread or do you want to eat this wheat bread? You make the choice of which one you want to eat. So you make the choice whether you want to forgive or not. And like I said, it's not a feeling. So you may not feel the forgiveness, but you choose it and say, every day I choose to forgive. When I was in different situations and the circumstance would arise in my head, I didn't even say it out my mouth. I wouldn't even bring up the situation anymore, but it would come up in my head. I would remember it, and I would say, "I choose to forgive." I would remember something somebody said to me that was way out of the way, and I would say, "I choose to forgive." And I would say it as many times as I needed to. I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive, to the point, guys, now things just roll right on off me, just like water off a duck's back. It just rolls right on off me. Why? Because I choose to forgive. You don't have to come to me and apologize. You don't have to come to me and say that you're sorry. It doesn't matter. I choose to forgive, not for you. I choose to forgive for me. I wanted to read you this quote that I found, and I don't know who was the actual person who um, gave the quote, but I'm going to read this quote, and I'm pretty sure you've heard it before, but I want you to think about it this weekend. I want you to kind of just meditate on it. And if there's any unforgiveness in your heart, please start to forgive, because I want you to live a long life. I want you to live a long, healthy life. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is that if you start to forgive. I can almost guarantee you that every person that is listening to me right now, there's somebody that's in your heart that you can say, "Man, I need to forgive." Or something that was said to you a long time ago that when you think about it, it makes you angry. It gets you upset. That means you need to forgive. You need to let that go. Even if it was those little kids on the playground that said mean and nasty things to you, and now here you are 30, 40 years old, and you still reliving that childhood thing where they talked about you, called you black, called you ugly, called you buck tooth, called you bald headed, or whatever they said to you, and it hurt your feelings. You got to choose to forgive so that you can move and flourish and be the person that you have called, that God has called you to be successful in life. You need to forgive. The quote is this: unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I'm going to read it again. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Really, guys, you're killing yourself when you don't forgive. You're hurting your own body. And our bodies are supposed to be the temple of the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. That's the place where God dwells. And we need to treat it with the utmost respect. And we need to love on ourselves and build ourselves up. And we need to forgive and let people go. And can I tell you this? Some of you need to forgive yourself. You're mad at you because you didn't do this, or because you didn't do that, or because you didn't accomplish this, or even because you allowed this person in your life and then things went awry and they went in a bad direction, and you're like, "I can't believe I allowed myself to do this. I cannot believe I allowed this to happen to me." Let it go. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself the grace to say, "I forgive you." Look in that mirror this weekend and say, "I forgive you. I release you. I let you go." And begin to be that new person that you know you can be. Begin to be that person that you have had visions of being for so long. It's time to forgive. Forgive that person. Forgive yourself and live. Admit that you need to forgive. Journal it if you need to. Make the choice this weekend to forgive, because it affects every aspect of your life, your spiritual life, your relationships, your physical health. It affects every part of you. So choose this weekend to release somebody, to let them go. Even if it's you, release you and let you go. But guys, forgive. That is what I wanted to share with you. Forgive. Forgive you. Forgive others and allow yourself to walk in freedom. So let this be a forgiveness weekend. A forgiveness weekend. You don't have to call the person up to forgive them. You don't have to have them come over to apologize to you. You can just choose to sit in your own house while you're riding in the car, while you're listening to this broadcast, while you're sitting in your home. You can make the choice right now to forgive. So if you make that choice to forgive, send me an email, wholebeautiful@gmail.com. Let me know that you have chosen to forgive. I'm going to continue to pray for you and with you that God will continually cleanse you in the whole process, that you will be able to walk in the true freedom where you need to walk. Okay, guys, this is Angela D. Oliphant. I'm allowing you to see, hear, and to know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination, guys. It is most definitely your journey. Have the most amazing weekend. Enjoy life and forgive. I love you. Talk to you soon. Join me again next week, Friday at 7 p.m. I'll be right here waiting for you. Have an awesome weekend. Good night.